taking a look at the others, I think on paper, West Ham and Villa maybe a notch above everybody else.
Yeah.
We've spoken of Scamacca, of Aguerd, Kostic maybe coming in. I think some people would say, is David Moyes the right guy here? Or were we too hard on David Moyes before?
I don't think we were too hard on him before.
I wasn't. I like the guy. But
Yeah, no. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan, and I didn't like the style of football. I've said that many times. But with the players that he has now, maybe the football will have to be better. Maybe you can't be as minimalist. And I'm not saying that in a bad way for West Ham fans, as he was in the last 3 seasons, or 2 seasons especially. That gave them results, but then there's another way of playing football with those players that would be much better, and that can bring you also results. So we will have to see. They also missed out on potentially someone like Onana or Danjuma, who they were really keen on, ready to put a lot of money on, and missed them out for whatever reasons. But I think I like what they did. I like what Villa and Gerrard are doing. I looked last season, if you only count the points from where Gerrard arrived in November to the end of the season, they finished 9th, not 14th like they actually did over the whole season. If they can improve on 9th, I think would be great. If Gerrard can keep that form over the whole 38 matches of the season, and the signings that they made, Diego Carlos, Camara, that's good. I expect 1 or 2 more, and keeping the players that they've already had before, apart from Carney, of course. It's interesting.
Yeah, I think a lot of times at that level, it's about keeping the players, and that's why, I mean, arguably, assuming they're still there on September 1st, I think they will be. Gerard Bowen and Declan Rice could be West Ham's biggest signings of the summer.
They will be, you're right.
No disrespect to Scamacca and Aguerd. Further down, and I don't want to get messages, people, oh, why don't you talk about Brighton? Why don't you talk about so-and-so? I don't want to give people short shrift. I do want to mention 2 other clubs that I think are ambitious and want to be hoping to break into that. 2 clubs who maybe there's very different vibes about them. One is Newcastle.
Yeah.
How do you rate their summer? This idea that they're going to come in and it's going to be Manchester City Mark II. We kind of said it all along. These guys are trying to run a business.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of cash, but they're not going to run at a loss because they know that there are rules out there. And I think also, it's a slightly different. I don't think this is, people have used the term sports washing. I don't think this is to make the world feel great about Saudi Arabia, that they made this investment in Newcastle. I think they made this investment because they think Newcastle has a higher ceiling.
Yeah.
This is a different situation from Manchester City.
Yeah, I think it's different. Dan Ashworth, who they picked, and they had to wait for a long time for him to finally be able to start working for them as a sporting director. We said it many times, he's a very intelligent arrival and recruit. And that's what they do. I think they wanted to do more business than they have so far, for sure. But the Sven Botman, your favorite,
There you go.
Was great. They missed out on Ekitike. They missed out on a few others that they were going for. Again, I don't think they're done. I don't think they're finished. Because right now, this is a good squad, and it's a squad that Eddie Howe did really well in the second half of last season. But it's not like a dream squad either. It's not a squad that you think, okay, you can compete now with the top 6. You're still way, way behind.
Leicester's the other squad, the other team which are very much in the news. Viewed from the outside, it looks to me like after several seasons in which the ownership spent a ton of money, and I think they spent a lot of money well, and I think the team did well. I think they kind of, last season there was a point where they sort of went off the boil, and you can ask why and wonder why. Injuries obviously played a big part in it. Brendan Rodgers, I think he tried different things. Some of it didn't quite work out. It does feel like this is a season where they're saying, all right, let's rein in the spending a little bit. Obviously, Kasper Schmeichel gone. We'll be talking about that. Madison's been linked left, right, and center. I'm assuming he's probably looks like he's going to stay at this stage, but who knows? Fofana, another big question mark. They haven't gone out and spent money.
The only club to have not signed anyone yet.
Is the thinking that the ownership said, all right, we went for it. Now we've signed these young players. Let's focus on developing them rather than continually adding to the squad.
Yeah, maybe.
And maybe that's also reflected in someone like Yuri Tielemans, who I'm a huge fan of. He has a year left on his contract. He was linked to other clubs. Now it looks like he may stay. He may not stay. I don't know.
Does it feel to you that it's a bit the end of a cycle, though? There's got this feeling, not just yet, but that Vardy is 35 and at some point it will go. Tielemans could go on a free in a year. Schmeichel is gone. Fofana clearly is pushing for a move away. Maddison can probably leave as well too, as we mentioned. And then you're left with having to rebuild and start a new cycle around Daka and Barnes and James Justin, players like that, maybe. And it certainly feels a bit like that. I'm a bit worried about them compared to where they were the last 3 seasons, for example.
Potentially, but I will say this. I think sometimes Brendan Rodgers works at his best when his resources are more limited. And when you sit down and you work with what you have, there's a lot of talent in that side.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Maybe even this team is more talented than Leicester and Newcastle, potentially. Even with the guys they've lost or might yet lose. So I'll be curious to see how they do. I think it's a big, big year for Brendan as well. We need to mention Everton simply because of the historic size of the club and where they're going and the issues with Usmanov, who doesn't actually own the club, by the way.
Yeah, let's remind everyone.
Yeah, let's remind everybody. He's not the club owner. What's success for Everton this season? Mid-table?
Yeah, mid-table. I don't know. I can't really work them out. I still can't work Lampard out in that team. I don't know if he's the right fit for them. I don't understand what they do in terms of recruitment, or maybe they're trying to get a replacement for Richarlison, who is not Dwight McNeil, by the way. It felt like they spent the money from Richarlison on McNeil. I don't know where the goals from Richarlison are going to come. Calvert-Lewin is already injured. They're going to go for Onana, which they will get, who is an amazing prospect, really, really super talented kid, really good kid. But
is he the best Onana in the world, or would you go with the goalkeeper Onana?
I prefer this Onana than the goalkeeper one.
The goalkeeper Onana is a lot cooler than this
He's a lot cooler, but this one...
I've never seen this guy speak, so I don't know. I can't judge or dress, I don't know. But the other Onana is legit.
He's cool.
He's one of the top 25 coolest players in the world.
True, but this Onana is a bit different.
Sorry about our Onanism here.
Younger, but you can get there. He's got enough swag to be super cool very soon.
Okay.
But they've paid for the talent, but he's still an unproven talent. I think he could have done with another year in Ligue 1 easily. So we will have to see, but yeah.
All right. Regular viewers will know I do not follow the championship. I can read the names. I know what's happened. I know who Forest have signed and Bournemouth and Fulham. I get the feeling it's not going to be 3 up, 3 down. Do you?
It could be. I mean, what I liked about Forest is that the owner said we will back the manager, we will back Steve Cooper, we will spend a lot because we know that if we don't, we're going to go down straight away.
Well, it's also because he has a lot of money and likes to wheel and
deal.
deal.
But he didn't really spend that before either. They were still a surprise promoted side who went from bottom after hiring Steve Cooper to being promoted. And they spend a lot of money on some interesting signings. Certainly, will they all work out? I don't know. I hope for them. But Nico Williams is a good signing. The moves from Germany in the Bundesliga, you could see why they were attracted to those kind of guys too. I think it's interesting. At Forest, more than Bournemouth, I fear for Bournemouth and our friend Richard Hughes and Scott Parker, and even for Fulham and Marco Silva, to be fair.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.